the crack? Welcome along, guys. It's another episode of 420 News. It's the middle of the week. It is Wednesday. Hope everybody's nice and blazed out there. It is spot on the hour of 420. Yes, it's the that high time that we all love so well. And it's not the time for the 420 news. No, it is just time to blaze one up. So hopefully you're able to do so. Sorry, just grinding up some herb there in the background. Ooh, tasty. But who do we have out in the audience? We have Podge, we have Hype, we have R420. What's going on, R420 Supplies? Hope you're well. Monsieur Fudge out there as well. DB Woodcraft in the audience. Ryan McCarthy, what's happening, Ryan? And John Finnegan's out there as well. What's going on, John? How are you all? Podge, what are you doing, man? You're watching on YouTube and Facebook. Go on, you legend. Get the numbers up there. Right. Pack up a bowl there while everybody is still joining. Nope. What's going on out there? Nope. Northern Ireland's calling. Toda Frost out there as well. What's going on, Toda? How are you doing? Bogwan's son, welcome along to the show, Bogwan. Not too late at all. We're just after getting started. And it's 4:22 now again. Yes, it is 4:22. I believe it was Pamela who reminded me last week that 4:22 is 4:22. Sorry guys, just breaking up a little bit of this hash here into little bits, and we're going to pack that one into the bowl as well, and we'll blaze it on up with you. We have Lorraine out there as well. What's going on, Lorraine? Skatanis joining in. Hype, what's going on, Hype? And anybody else that I've missed? Darren, what's going on, Darren O'Reilly? Afternoon, gent. Or gents, he's saying. What about the ladies, Darren? Just ladies out there in the audience as well, isn't that right? Right, Lorraine? Right. Oh, geez, that's a nice little, yeah. It's like a load of little mouse droppings. It's not going to taste like them, though. Who was that? iRush. Go on, iRush, you legend. Nice one for hosting the stream there over on your page. Much appreciated. Always getting in there behind the show, helping out with the numbers over on Twitch. Seems to be the one that I perform the least in, probably because I don't play any computer games. Maybe I don't stream to the same extent as some of the streamers over there either. But I always wonder why that one's always at like maybe 2, 3, maybe always 1 even. But legend anyway, nice one, iRush, much appreciated. Steve Jones dropping in as well. Steve Jones is vaping. What are you vaping, Steve? You vaping some herb? You got some extracts, distillate? What's the crack? What are you vaping? And Podge saying, don't forget about Miss Fudge too. Yes, howdy Chloe. I hope you're well out there. And that's everybody. Yeah, I believe that's everybody that's in the comments there now at the moment. So without further ado, we'll blaze one up with you. Yes, so lighters at the ready, guys. Little civil disobedience here for the 420 News crew. Hype getting in behind the show. Nice one, Hype. Hype just found someone myself up the hash. Nice. Congrats there, Hype. And also, I just want to give a shout out again to, excuse me, Podge. Podge got in a super chat there last week and I forgot to give him a shout out for it, so I'll pop it up on screen there again. This was from last Monday, Podge, but legend, much appreciated. Also out there too behind Podge was Miss Stowes. Mistow is there last week, also thrown $2 towards the internet bills. Legend Mistow is much appreciated as always, guys, for the show, or for the support of the show. Go on, Mistow is your legend. Much appreciated as always, guys. That hash just keeps on giving. Oh, so tasty. Skatanis, damn, still rolling. And Lorraine Regan saying, clog the court systems and not guilty. F the laws, it's alright. Guys, I 100% agree with Lorraine there. If you end up before the judges, if you're caught with cannabis, just go not guilty. If you ask how you plead not guilty and just challenge the charges, maybe let's start taking a leaf out of the guys across the pond's book in the UK. Trev Coleman, who was a guest on the podcast in the past, he was in court there yesterday, I believe it was, or else it was, yeah, I believe it was yesterday, and he basically is challenging the charges now as to the for the courts to produce the evidence which was used to deem cannabis to be a Schedule 1 drug having no medicinal benefits. I believe that's the argument he's using. He's asking them to furnish the evidence to back up, that the cannabis is a Schedule 1 drug with no medicinal benefits. And it seems they've been unable to do so. So he's back in court in October, I believe. Where I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I'm going to try to catch up with Trev so he can explain it a bit better to me. But it's just being a thorn in their side. Just as much as they're a thorn on our side, we can be a thorn on their side by challenging the laws, pleading not guilty, and just asking for some of the evidence there that they've used to deem cannabis to be a Schedule 1 drug, i.e. having no medicinal benefits, despite the fact that it's been dispensed to people here in this country under ministerial licensing. Kind of flies, like, do you know what I mean? It's a completely hypocritical. On one hand, you're getting punished for cannabis because it's a Schedule 1 drug, i.e. no medicinal benefits, high potential for abuse. And at the same time, there's people being dispensed it here as a medicinal product, and they're saying it's much better than any of the other drugs that they got through before that, so... Yeah, dead right, Lorraine. Nice one for that. Lee Wallace out there as well. What's happening, Lee? Only came across yourself lately. I don't smoke it anymore, but respect for what you're doing. Much appreciated there, Lee. Really do appreciate that. Just standing up for a right, I wonder what the reason is why you don't smoke it anymore. Was it the antisocial kind of nature of it, the criminality aspect of it? Or was it just you decided that cannabis is not for you, and you just moved on? Because I think that I would be very interested in hearing, if it's either any of those stories. If it was any of the former, the price. There you go, the price. Okay, that's putting it straight out there. Yeah, and definitely the price should definitely come down on the regulations. So hopefully, if we're successful in our mission here, Lee, that we'll turn this on its head, and it'll be no difference from going into your local shop and buying some oregano, because in the likes of things like cannabis and oregano, well, they're pretty much the same kind of thing. They're plant-based substance, and in fact, probably cannabis is easier to grow than oregano. And you can go into your local shop and buy a couple of grams of oregano for only €1 or two, like so. We'll sort that out for you, Lee. Yeah, spent a fortune. Of course, like 50 quid for 3 grams. Like it's not hard to be spending a fortune. Even at the moment, people are paying more. There was like I believe Podge was saying down his neck of the woods there. Was 30 quid for a gram? Some fellows were asking, and Podge actually saying in the comments there now that he wasted 50 quid in sprayed shit recently. Man, that's nasty. That's not good at all. But it shouldn't be the case at all. Like. Cassidy Strugas saying you should have sent back to your dealer and get your money back. Go on to the Consumer Rights Authority, put in a complaint against your dealer. Stoner Dan is out in the audience as well. Welcome along, Stoner Dan, and welcome along, Casa de Strugas. Hope you're well, buddy. Stoner Dan saying, not in the last few days, so just picked up some CBD flower. Such a pity our local shops can't sell full spectrum. Yeah, but it is good that at least you have the option there of getting some CBD flower. I know while it doesn't pack a punch, you know, it's still nice to have something there. You know, the CBD in itself, it can be yeah, when you don't have the high THC, it can certainly help. It's better than nothing. Podge says he was too pissed off and he burnt it, so he can't return it. uh, Zappa's out in the audience as well. 5Gs for 50 quid in a Cabra. Nice, that's a lot better than what we're getting here anyway. Skatana says, my dealer has a no return policy. Oh no, sorry, he has a return policy, no joke. Oh, sorry, I misplaced the no there. Nice to hear. Like that, as I always say, like not all drug dealers are bad drug dealers. Some of them actually have some morals and, you know, have a care for their reputation, I suppose. You know, and they don't want to be known for dodgy, bad quality. So yeah, good to hear there, Skatanist. Lucky you. The only way to get contaminated cannabis off the market is to stop buying it. Yeah, that's very true, but a lot of people don't realize, I suppose, that it's contaminated until afterwards. And a lot of people don't have I don't know, like the courage, I suppose, to be checking their cannabis when they're getting it off the dealer. A lot of the times it's kind of like, here's a quick hand, gets the cash, here's the weed, look, good luck, and the dude bunks on. That's if you don't know him, like. I know a lot of people coming down to Cork over the weekend and they've been messaging me, and you know, I'd imagine they're messaging me looking to get hookups. I'm like, look, I can't really help you out. I point them in the direction maybe of the dude King Crop because he seems alright, but in reality they don't know who they're meeting, so they could be quite intimidated. One of them was a couple, a woman and her partner down, and you know, you just couldn't imagine that like if they were to meet up with the wrong or you could imagine if they were to meet up with the wrong person, how easily they could be taken advantage of. Whether it be contaminated cannabis or whether it be giving them CBD instead of high THC stuff, like the risk is always there, like. But yeah, the only way to get her off to stop buying it, I suppose, well, the real way to get her off is to regulate the market, and for all of us to unite and stand up for what's right. Russell Banta joining the crew there as well. Lee saying, I've saw 2 grams going for 50 cash in the height of lockdown. Yeah, I've seen it, Lee. Yeah, I've seen it. Even before lockdown, Lee, I've seen the Cali stuff. The Cali stuff was going for 3.5 grams and 8 for 100 quid. So do the maths there on that one. Like you're talking over €30 a gram, or thereabouts anyway. Mad stuff, like. Grow your own, dead right, Podge. Dead feckin' right, man. Right, guys, let's get stuck into the news. I believe I've said all my hellos and welcomes to everybody out there anyway, but if I haven't, welcome. The first headline, and I want to get stuck right into it, it is ReLeaf. The ReLeaf Cannabis, I suppose, CBD cafe located down in Dungarvan in County Waterford. The store owner had his home raided on Monday night. On Monday night, he had his home raided by a number of Gardai who entered into his home and ransacked it. They just searched his entire house. Ridiculous. All that was found in the raid was some of the CBD products that were for the store. And the store owner then was held overnight by the Gardai in Dungarvan Garda station. Absolutely ridiculous treatment here. The product he's selling is the low THC, high CBD, a product that many people out there get tremendous benefits from, and use it for a myriad of reasons. The past CBD store owners that I interviewed, Little Collins, they tell me that a lot of their customers would have been the older crowd. Even Jim from Puff and Stuff as well, who I interviewed, he also said the same thing. He had people coming in their 50s, you know, saying, "Oh, will this help with with this and with that, and he wasn't able to say if it could or not, but he said it possibly could, and those same people would be back a week or two later and be like, oh yeah, can I get a bit more of that herb? And and then they're getting targeted because the product that they're selling is basically comes from cannabis. It is cannabis. It's the low THC type of cannabis. So again, another victim here of the war on drugs. Another industry that's, that this person, that Mark, the store owner who was arrested and held overnight, he's paying his taxes. He's paying his taxes there. He's renting out a property that would be otherwise probably left derelict. He's providing a tremendous service there for the community. I've heard that even the local Garda station actually have recommended his coffee as being great. And that was coming from Mark himself, who said that, yeah, the local guards have come up to the store, they have bought coffee, they have bought products from there. No, they weren't buying the CBD cannabis stuff, but they would have been buying maybe CBD oils. They were buying tea and coffee from him, and they knew he was there, he was fine. And it's all well and good. What's the problem, like? But apparently there's an old BITCH of Garda down there by the name of Garda Larkin. And she's maybe wanting to make a name for herself, and that's why his house was raided the other night. So in response to this, guys, we're going to have a protest. We're going to have a protest down in Dungarvan this Saturday. So if you can make it, we would appreciate your presence down there. I do know that this is on short notice, but at the same time, how much notice did Mark get the other night before his home was raided? We really do need to respond to this. We need to band together now. Each one of these victims of this prohibition of cannabis, the victims of cannabis prohibition, we all need to band together and stand up for one another. Whether you're a CBD store owner, whether you're a medical cannabis patient, whether you're a young fella who got caught with a bit of cannabis at the side of the road, and you feel that you've been served an injustice, well, we all need to band together now and stand up against these injustices as they happen. So this Saturday, guys, 3 o'clock at Walton Park in Dungarvan. We're going to meet there. We're going to march from Walton Park. We're going to march down to the ReLeaf Cafe and then to the local Garda station where Mark was held overnight. We should be arriving at the Garda station in time for 4:20. We'll hold our civil disobedience protest there outside of the Garda station, and I might even march in myself. I don't know if others will join me, but I believe now is the time for mass civil disobedience, for all of us to go in individually with our own sample of CBD, whether it be a CBD oil, CBD herb, whatever, because it was herb and oil that was taken from his house the other night. But we all go into the Garda station and we say, look, we would like to be prosecuted like Mark. This is his product that he sells to us, and we're happy to buy from him. And here we go. Like, look, do us a service. Like, yeah. Do you know how many of us can we get to do it? I wonder. But look, outside of that, it's important that people show up and we march. If it's just me that goes into the Garda station, then so be it. But I know there's a couple of others out there who've already said that they're more than happy to march into that Garda station as well. So it'll be a loud statement to be or a loud message to be sending. So make sure to do everything you can to get down there. Stand up now for the victims of cannabis prohibition, all of them. And yeah, hopefully together we can change this law. Undo the cannabis prohibition, because yes, definitely, Podge, we are not criminals. That's the message. We are not criminals. We don't want to be treated like criminals. We don't want to be labelled as criminals, because we are not criminals. What we are doing is not criminal behaviour. It shouldn't constitute criminal behaviour. It's absolute. It's an abomination of law to have it. So it's a violation of our human rights. I would like to see Mark's business do well. I would like to see the other CBD businesses do well. I would like to see the farmers do well. So to the CBD farmers out there, to the farmers who want to farm the hemp plant, get your tractors at the ready. Come on down to Waterford this Saturday, because our fight is your fight. The barriers and the way for you to be more effective, to compete effectively in the global cannabis business, is to remove the prohibition of cannabis in Ireland, to have cannabis removed from the Misuse of Drugs Act. It does not belong there. It doesn't. Come on, you can't look down and deep down inside and honestly say that it does. So we all need to unite. So this Saturday down in Dungarvan, let's get together for ReLeaf and send a message that we don't want to be treated as criminals, and that if we do, well, there's going to be hell to pay afterwards. Peaceful civil disobedience protests. Bhagwan's son said, also getting a coffee from ReLeaf and trying their products whilst I'm there. Nice. His store might be closed because he'll probably be out protesting with us. But in fairness to ReLeaf and to the store owner of ReLeaf, he was there on Saturday below in the Kerry picnic in the park. He was below in Killarney with us, and he kept us hydrated throughout the day. I showed you the photos there the other day of the products, the CAM CBD products. These are products of Mark's. These are stocked at his shop, and he came down and he gifted us with them on the day. An incredible show of support for our community. And then 2 days later, he was raided. So now is the time to repay that support and get down there. So yeah, definitely, guys, do all you can. 3 o'clock, Walton Park, Dungarvan. We should arrive down at the Garda station prior to 4:20, and we'll hold a little civil disobedience, a little vigil outside of there. A spliff lit vigil. Go on, man, sure, nice one for the share, bud. JW Hillpower, I'll be there in the Garda station, Martin, with some CBD and THC flowers. They don't know the difference anyway. That's it, guys, and there's no need to waste our product. We only need the smallest amount. Like, you get a little baggie like this even, and put as much as that seed. Like, see the size of that seed inside of there? That's about as much cannabis as you need. That's enough, and they have to do the job. The guard has to do his job. He has to do his job. Like that. That's the thing that we have to use against them. When you're at the side of the road, when you're on your own, and the guard's searching your car, and he finds your bit of weed, and he's like, well, look, I have to do my job. I have to bring it to court. Well, no, we show up in the Garda station, and we say, well, guard, look, you couldn't show the discretion at the side of the road. You couldn't show discretion towards the CBD businesses. So, no, do your job. Right back in their face, like, but peaceful. Keep it peaceful and civil, guys. No shouting, no name calling. We are not criminals after all, so let's not give them any ammunition to be used against us. Let's not try to fit the bill at all in any way. So peaceful, civil. Yeah, keep yourselves calm. That's the most important thing. Bhagwan's son says, won't forget him recall the video where the Garda did mention we were on their list. Yeah, that's right, actually. I believe Mark has some more videos of Saturday, and I'll get those up there actually as well. But Mark was the guy who captured these photos, like the cop here with the cam drinks. and also there was the cop with the spliff. That was a CBD spliff actually from Mark, from ReLeaf. Yeah, so credit to ReLeaf there. We wouldn't have had this iconic photo of a guard being handed a joint at the Kerry picnic in the park for Cannabis Reform Ireland if it wasn't for him. So, guys, Saturday, come on, get down there. There's good reasons to go down to Dungarvan. They have a lovely waterfall down there, Mahon Falls. I don't know if you're out there in the audience, Mahon Falls. But guys, it's a lovely place to go visit. Sure, we'll be, if you get down there early, you can go for a hike before or after. Alright, so we drive on with the news. Because in County Sligo, yes, in County Sligo, home of our drugs minister, old Frankie Fian. Yes, Frankie Fian's hometown, there was a man caught with €106,000 worth of drugs. The drugs he got caught with was a mix of different cannabis products, there we go. Frankie boy popping up on screen. Hey Frank, you're too big. He's got his stupid hat on. Yes, Frankie Fian's hometown is Sligo. Shots fired there, Frankie. Sorry, but seriously, our drug policies are stupid. Like, you're the minister for stupid drug policies. That's what you are, buddy. But yeah, above in Frank's hometown anyway. Sorry, getting a bit distracted there by some of the artwork. There was a man arrested after €106,000 worth of drugs was seized. This was on Tuesday evening at shortly just after 9 p.m. when the Gardai attached to the Sligo Garda station carried out a search of a property in Colony in Sligo. During the course of the search and the execution of a search warrant under the Section 26 of the Misuse of Drugs Act, the property was searched and cannabis herb, cannabis resin, cannabis jellies and cocaine was seized with an estimated street value of €106,000. The drugs will now be sent for analysis, and Gardai are said that the investigation is still ongoing. A man in his 20s, I believe, was arrested. But yeah, like what we're seeing here, like, is cannabis jellies, and cocaine all in the same spot. If you're a young person, if you're a person between the age of 16, 17, 18, and you're curious about drugs, if you're curious about alcohol, where'd you go? You might go to your cousin who's 18 and you say, hey, cousin Bill, will you go down there to the off license and pick me up a couple of bottles of bud? And he might, and there's no danger there. You're getting a quality assured product. Well, if you're a 16, 17-year-old and you're curious about drugs, then illegal drugs, not the regulated kind of drugs like alcohol, the illegal kind like cannabis, and you want to try some of those cannabis jellies you keep hearing about in the bloody news, where'd you go? You go to this guy. I'm sure this guy's got a bit of cocaine there as well. Like, who knows? Like, the dude could be a bit crazy and he's just like sprinkling a bit of cocaine onto the jellies as well. Like, I don't know, is that a sensible thing to do? Just literally making that one up there myself. But the danger is there. You don't know what he's putting on there. You'd be probably maybe delighted if he was putting a bit of cocaine onto it, because the reality is they're probably putting that bloody AB Pinaka stuff that we reported on there earlier in the week that put people into hospital over in the UK. That's the synthetic cannabinoid type, So yes, sorry Frank for putting the stupid hat on you, like, but that's what you deserve to wear. When you sit as the Minister for Drugs for over a year, and you refuse to engage in any of the calls for change of the policies, drug users, many of them, reaching out to you day after day, wanting for you to acknowledge the fact that our drug laws are putting us more at risk, and we would like to not be treated like criminals, and maybe treated like with a bit of compassion, and if we have health issues to be then treated in respect of that. But no, you've ignored us, you've remained ignorant. So it's a stupid and ignorant hat you should be wearing, actually, in fact. Sorry guys. Just see some of your comments coming in. Talk to Frank. Yeah, talk to Frank is right. Like, you might as well talk to the wall, like, than talk to Frank. Like, Frankie is the man. He's a stone cold killer, like, Any of your thoughts or aspirations for change, like, they're going to die with this man. He was put there for that reason. He was put there as a doorstop. There was good progress being made, like, albeit slow over the last few years, with past drug ministers. We were certainly heading in the right direction, but then Frankie Boy comes along, and old Frankie with the elbow shuffle, and he elbow shuffled us to a halt. As he does. He loves to bully people with the old elbow shuffle, doesn't he? I want to bring your attention to something else out there, guys, actually, as we're on the topic of politics there, I suppose. Fine Gael have a call out for people to give them share with them their opinions of I'll get rid of Frankie Boy. I left Leo tell you here, look, for John.
Fine Gael is asking people to submit their idea as to how we can make Ireland a better place for all.
Boo, Fine Gael.
A policy initiative that will transform our country for the better. Or it might be just something smaller that would make a real difference at community level. Whatever your idea is, we really want to hear it. The winning entrant will have an opportunity to pitch the idea to me over a video call, and you're welcome to include your friends and colleagues as well. So what you need to do, if you go on to finegael.ie/betterireland, you'll be able to make your submission. Really looking forward to hearing about all your ideas. Thank you.
I'm sure he is, like, just as much as Frank Fian is looking forward to hearing your ideas. But, guys, all you have to do is click into that link there. Once you click into that link, you're brought over to the Fine Gael page. You go down here and you just enter your name, your email, your county. Now, this is a bit of data gathering by these guys, but you have maximum 250 words, and that's it, you know. I'm asking you all now to go over there when you get a chance and to share with them your opinions as to what we should do with our drug policy in Ireland. Whether you want to just talk about cannabis and cannabis alone and all the benefits there, environmental, the benefits in terms of protection to the young people by putting an age limit and all of that, quality assurance. You know, get over there and do it. It'll be interesting to see if they would actually acknowledge it at all. I don't think they would, but look, you have your opportunity now to share with them your opinions on this. I've done it anyway. I'd love to be able to win a video conference call with Leo. I'd love to do it in person, like, and be bringing an old spliff with me, spark him one up. I'll bring one for him too, and we'll make sure we'll show him and all. It was done with sterile water and everything. I didn't even lick it, it's all safe. Go on, go for it. But yeah, it'd be decent to be able to have a chat with him about drugs. But you know yourself, like, pinch of salt, like, you can't trust these guys at all, like wolves in sheep clothing. Like, that they're out there, they're probably just looking to gather people's emails or something like that. That's probably it, you know. I wouldn't really trust it, but it's there anyway. If you believe in the political process, if you believe in the parties and stuff like that, there's your chance anyway. I know somebody else was saying to me, I think it was the person behind Cork Cannabis Club Twitter page, they were saying that Fianna Fáil, that they might be worth a punt at trying to crack, you know, people trying to turn some of their TDs to get supportive of it. I don't think any of them are really supportive of all, to be very honest. So, right, we drive on in other news, and it is Gangster Mr Flashy. Gangster Mr Flashy is living it up to his name in Tenerife as a limo driver waits for him in the airport with the call card reading Flashy. So this was a headline of the Sunday World, an article written by Alan Sherry. I'll pop it up on screen there for you so you can all see it. But it's like the tracksuit clad drug dealer. Like, you know what I mean? Tracksuit clad. What's tracksuit got to do with it? Like, it's like, oh man, that's annoying. I like wearing tracksuits, like. But the tracksuit clad drug dealer, whose gang have been involved in several feuds in North Dublin, was videoed by pals arriving in Tenerife. And it talks about how in the airport they had the sign there with Flashy on it for him when he arrived. I don't know, as a journalist, a bit jealous that his buddy's never done this for him or something, or what's the crack. Like, I don't know how this really makes the news. Because it's kind of an old article, like, you know, they talk about a load of waffle inside or some of the stuff that he's done, but like, really, like, what value is the reader getting, the public getting out of this at all? Because it's just kind of stating bits of fact and stuff, like, but in reality, like, what's been missing here is this guy, Mr. Flashy. He's out there living at large. These guys are involved in feuds. They're cutting people up on the streets of Ireland. They're shooting people, you know, they're out there doing God knows what, all sorts of nasty stuff, and they can't catch them. Like, how many, like, major crime families have we got in Ireland, and they can't stop them? Like, how long have we known about the Kinahans and the Hutches and all of that kind of carry on, and they can't stop them? Like, what's going on? So really, like, all this is Mr. Flashy's living her up, and he's highlighting the failure of prohibition, and the need to change it, to turn it on its head, so that these gangsters can't live the gangster lifestyle that they're living. They're only living the gangster lifestyle because of prohibition. That's what needs to be fucking highlighted in these articles, and when they're bringing these things up, you know. But they're out there, John Gilligan, alright, he served his time in prison and stuff, but he's out there again, he's out sending weed and hash and pills and God knows what else back to Ireland and the UK and stuff, as we all already know. So if we really want to target these guys, these gangsters, these people who are literally out there shooting people and murdering people, we end this prohibition. We regulate the sale and supply of the drugs. Podge is saying 4 huge gang families in Ireland. Yeah, that's it. Like, about 4 huge gang families, you know, probably maybe a number of other smaller ones, you know. But yeah, it'd be so easy just to sort it out. You just regulate the sale and supply of the drugs. Because you've headlines like this other one. There was a Garda probe if a Hutch gang member slashed a man with a knife in a row over a female associate. Now, I don't know what the backstory is to this one, but some guy who was only recently released out of prison, an associate of the Hutch gang, known to be volatile. He's suspected now of being involved in where a person had their face slashed on Store Street in on Sheriff Street, sorry, in Dublin there over the weekend. That was on Sunday evening, I believe it was. Absolutely ridiculous, you know. Fair enough, like this guy, this has nothing to do with drugs or whatever, you know, but it could have been over a fallout with the old doll. But I suppose the danger here is this guy, if he is involved with the Hutch gang, well, we all know the Hutch gangs, they make their money in drugs. That's where they make a lot of their money. And this dude is out there and he's just willy-nilly slashing people. Like, if you owe these guys money, that's not how you want business to be carried out in Ireland, you know. You don't have that with off licenses who also sell drugs. Do you know why is this tolerated? They talk about in the article as well that there was members of Mr Flashy's gang in the previous story there. A known enforcer of his gang also arrested. Like these people are known, do you know, and they even know the role that they're playing. It's mad, like it really is. Like you couldn't be making this stuff up, like, you know, so much so that like there's a new TV show that's coming out next month, and it's going to be featuring the feud between the Kinahans and the Hutches. Like, you know, that's how messed up this stuff is. Like, you know, that they're actually able to capture it and just put it onto TV because it's kind of almost like entertainment. It's getting crazy at this stage. Entertainment in terms of the movies that you watch and stuff like that, the drama and all of that stuff that goes on with it. But they released the trailer there of it. I'll play the trailer there for you, and you can view this. So that's going to be starting next month sometime. I don't know, is it going to be over on RT or what's the crack on it? But it's said to be the next Love Hate of, you know, for RT. And many of you probably have seen Love Hate. I don't know. I haven't seen it myself. I just wasn't able to watch it. It just annoyed me a little bit. The fact that, like, within the show they're able to portray exactly what goes on out there because of prohibition, but they don't address it that it's because of prohibition. No, it's because of drugs. That's how it's kind of portrayed. They don't ever acknowledge the fact that if we were to regulate it, that we could have changed this shit up. Like, but again, this is going to be it again. Do you know what we're going to witness now within this? You've seen it there in the trailer, how people like running down through pubs and just shooting people up and stuff like that. Or no, sorry, that was the trailer for Love Hate that I was watching earlier on. But you witness in it like how just even the general public, it's not even the families of the people involved in the drugs trade, it's just the general public. You're out there walking down the road, minding your own business, walking your dog. Next all you know is that the guy walking past you as a drug dealer involved in a feud, and the people who are feuding with him are driving by with some guns, and you get caught in the fucking crossfire. That's the danger that we're facing today in Ireland, because that's the level of violence that's out there at the moment. These guys are armed, they are dangerous, they are willing to use violence. We've already seen it. I brought up the map here in the past that showed the map of all the gangland feud killings. You know, it's gotten desperate. It really has. You know, and like really, like that isn't a stretch of the imagination to say that couldn't happen someday. You know, you're walking down the street. It's actually kind of already happened in one way or other. It's the guy in Limerick. Can't think of his name now off the top of my head, but the Limerick, he was a rugby player, and he got I believe it was a case of mistaken identity down there in the feud. I believe. Crap, I can't remember the name of the family down there now either. The Dundans, was it Dundans and some other family, they were feuding, but again, known drug dealing families, whatever. And Shane Gogan, is that the one, Lee? Nice one. Yeah, that's I believe that's the one. Yeah, but it was just messed up, like, you know, that shouldn't be happening at all. We shouldn't be facing that danger out there, you know. What if next, you know, one of your family members looks like, you know, an Nidge or whoever, you know, whatever the fucking drug dealer might be in your area, you know, and he's involved in a feud. But, you know, it's a dangerous one. And then we have the entertainment sectors come along, make TV shows off it. We'll all sit back and we'll all watch it, and we'll all carry on as if it's not actually going on out there, and it is like. It is like it's a fictional show, but it's based off of the feuding families. In this, it's the Kinsillas. That's the name of one of the families, and the other family is the Cunningham family in this show. Do you know? And for me, it's just infuriating for me, because I could sit down and watch that show, and probably in one episode I could probably have about 20, 30 arguments as to how we could avoid this with prohibition. Look, this is because of prohibition. I just wouldn't be able to rest. It would just drive me mad. That's probably why I was never able to watch Love Hate either. It's just like there would be too many arguments going off in my head as to, this is prohibition. He wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't have prohibition. I drive myself mad at times. What's going on, Green Bear? I see Green Bears out in the audience there. Haunty, I see Haunty's out there as well. Haunty was asking, when's the next protest? Well, just to remind you, in case you're only joining into the show now, some people pop in and out as we go, but it's this Saturday, Haunty. It's this Saturday down in Dungarvan. Down in Dungarvan, we're going to be protesting in support of ReLeaf. It's a CBD cafe. They sell CBD flowers, like the one the spliff that the guard's been handed here. That's got CBD flower in it. It's like a low THC, high CBD. So we're going to be protesting this Saturday down below there. So yeah, get on the bus, bud. We see you down in we see you down in Waterford. But yeah, it's this Saturday, Haunty. We've nothing planned for Cork at the moment. Maybe Dublin next month. But we will definitely get more protests happening after this if you can't make it anyway. So we drive on, guys, into the rest of the news. We head up to Belfast. We're above in Belfast. There was spike sweets among a substantial drugs haul in Belfast, according to the police. The drugs have to be sent for analysis and all of that kind of carry on as well. They love wasting taxpayers' money above in the north too, obviously. But it says sweets believed to have been infused with cannabis were among a substantial haul of suspected drugs in East Belfast. A man has been detained in Clonduff on suspicion of possession with intent to supply the drugs in connection with the seizure. And these are the drugs in question. Pop them up on screen there. These are the gummies. I've seen these being advertised actually in the past over on Instagram. I believe, was it Weedy Wonka? Oh yeah, that's actually his label there actually now as I look at it here in front of me. Luxurious gummies, and you can see at the top of it there's actually Weedy Wonka. I don't know if any of you have been lucky enough to taste some of his stuff, but or her stuff. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, or maybe it's both. But I've heard some very good things about their products. So this was a part of the seizure. Then there was also these bags with some cannabis herb in there. With what's that, head chef. Also a little bag of cocaine found there as well, and some Xanax pills. Again, prohibition, putting all these things together, or maybe the person just suffered with chronic pain or something like that, I don't know. But no, if this was a one-stop shop for all drugs, well, there you go, you have your gateway theory, but it's not drugs causing it, it's prohibition. But the police in East Belfast said a neighbourhood policing team in the Clonduff area had located a substantial amount of the drugs, and that a male was arrested at the scene. The drugs seized at the location included sweets, which were believed to have been infused with cannabis. And a statement from the police, East Belfast official Twitter account on Tuesday evening read that MPT officers conducted a search in an area opposite Clonduff and located a substantial amount of drugs, including sweets believed to be infused with cannabis. Officers shared a tweet with the hashtag keeping people safe. Jeez, they sound like our cops down here, don't they? You know, because our cops say that as well. Was that not a part of their mission statement that we had up there only the other day? I'll pop it back up on screen there just in case you might have forgotten it. But our Gardaí say that as well. Yes, keeping people safe. Like, that's a part of their mission. But what do they do? Like, look at what about those TV shows, Love, Hate, like, and all of the examples as to how prohibition doesn't keep us safe. As to how we had a raid there, was it 2 weeks ago, and there was a fucking submachine gun, a small little Uzi, with some cannabis. or sorry, not cannabis, sorry, it was heroin actually that it was there with heroin and cannabis, heroin and an Uzi. like decent. Like, well done, guards. You're doing a stand up job of keeping us safe. Seriously, like, you want to rise up there against the politicians making you so inefficient in their duties of keeping us safe. The prohibition of drugs does anything but that. Like it says here, there were 8,669 drug seizure incidents, up 6.9% on the previous 12 months. 8 policing districts showed an increase in such incidents, but drug-related arrests decreased by 2.7% to 3,457, and that was in the Northern Ireland area only. So in Northern Ireland, even during the pandemic, they're seeing a 7% increase in the amount of drugs that they're seizing up there. Are they really keeping us safe? Because we all know every time that there's a drug seizure made, that once the drug user is back on the street, like, they're going to seek out their drug of choice again. Maybe be a bit more desperate, maybe end up getting a bit more indebted. It's ridiculous, like. And to finish off, guys, the last headline I have for you today is cannabis is to be a cash crop in the Eastern Economic Corridor, and that includes countries like Thailand, where this beautiful photo was sent to me courtesy of a buddy who's over there at the moment doing a bit of training, and probably a few other things as well. But part of his trip anyway, he got to buy what was a cannabis popcorn treat. You can see here it was a plate full of popcorn, but it's infused with cannabis butter. This was locally grown cannabis there as well in Thailand, completely legal. I believe this was up to 2% THC. Cannabis was used in this infusion. So it's not a completely high strength cannabis, but it was enough for my buddy to end up getting arrested afterwards, he said. He was driving the bike, he said, and he got pulled over by the cops. I'd say there's a bit more to the story. We were only chatting over Snapchat, so we didn't get all of it. Like, but he was just like, "No, I'm going to stick to the drink. I'm sticking to the drink anyway." Fucking 2% my hole, he said. Oh, I was laughing at him. But yeah, that was over in Thailand. So there's the old Thai flag. But this article anyway was over on the Bangkok Times, and I'll excuse me, where it says the government plans to turn 10,000, I believe it's like acres or RAI of Sarpur core land in 3 provinces from the Eastern Economic Corridor into herb plantations. So I've no idea what 10,000 RAI is. It's like maybe acres, hectares, maybe. But they're going to turn a lot of land anyway into plantations for growing cannabis, hemp, and fa tali jaune, which is also known as green charetta. Green charetta is an interesting herb. It's been touted for its benefits for treating some of the symptoms with the COVID disease. So I'll pop it up on screen there so you can see it. Boom, there we go. That's it. That's a green. The screen's getting busy there now. But that's the green charetta. That's the plant that is going to be grown alongside of cannabis and hemp, as if cannabis and hemp are 2 different plants. But obviously what they're on about is the hemp for the fibre and the cannabis for the drugs, for the CBD, the medicinal compounds. So fair play to them. They're acknowledging the benefits there over in Thailand. Come on, we really need to get the finger out here, so that our farmers can also, take part in this global industry, and to help with the offsetting of the carbon footprint of Ireland as well, because cannabis, as they're even saying here in this article, it's an incredibly beneficial herb to be grown. It's one that sequesters a lot of carbon. The products are a lot more friendlier to the earth than some of the other products that we currently use. So there's a lot of benefits there from cannabis. It's not just the jobs it creates. It's not just the patients it helps, it's the planet it could potentially save too. Like, so guys, for all those reasons, join us Saturday for the protest. down in Dungarvan at 3 o'clock, meeting at Walton Park. Yes, meeting at Walton Park in Dungarvan, guys. That's a protest in support of ReLeaf. So they were unfairly raided the other night. He had his family home raided because of his business where he sells some CBD flowers. CBD flowers are cannabis flowers. They don't get you high. They're not going to get you high, unfortunately, you know. But still, despite that, the cops go down there and treat him like a criminal and hold him overnight in a prison cell. That's wrong, and we need to go down and stand up for the people within our community now. Alright, who's out there? I see Greenbeard is out there. What's happening, Greenbeard? Although I do enjoy the likes of Love Hate and the upcoming Kin, they do nothing but harm to the movement in decriminalisation. All they do is glorify and embolden the dealers to live up to expectations. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that, Greenbeard. I know a few young fellas who were watching Love Hate at the time, and I swear to God that they definitely got emboldened by it. You know, that they were thinking that they were nidged. You know, thinking that they're in some sort of TV show. Like, but no, this is real life. This is actually real life. And yeah, for that those reasons, I never watched Love Hate when it was out that time. And I see Zappa is agreeing with you there as well. GB says makes people wag the finger and just shows the nasty side of drug selling and possession. I know loads of people who take hard drugs and get up for work every day and cause no trouble. Yeah, there you go. You know, it really does. It muddies the waters there. I suppose, like, when you look at these TV shows, they do have to be a bit more overly dramatic. But sometimes, like, I suppose some of the stuff in this kin thing, I'd say this kin, I said they don't even have to be too far overly dramatic, you know. Look at the Regency Hotel shooting there, like that. That's some mad shit, like, you know. That's like something you'd see in a movie, like. I see Bogwan's son. Maybe the Gardaí don't like it after all. Maybe so. Hype saying, seems something about the Thai government taking their 4 local strains and making them more appealing to the rest of the world's legal countries, not letting their own grow it though. Interesting, yeah, I haven't seen anything about that now. I know 1 or 2 farmers, I've been put in contact with 1 or 2 farmers over there, and I'm hoping to have a chat with them in the coming weeks. But I'd like to be able to learn a bit more as to what they're doing over there. I do think there is strict limitations as to what they can grow, much as what you're saying here as well. Do you know that they have cannabis and hemp, and I imagine if you're growing the cannabis, well, you probably want to be greasing a few palms to be getting access to that license, because there's probably a lot more money in it, maybe, at the moment anyway. But I definitely think really where there's going to be a lot of money to be made is going to be in the textile side of it, you know, in the product side of it. Yeah, what was the word I'm looking for all of the things that can be made out of the hemp fibers, such as houses, homes. We do certainly need a few of those in Ireland, I'd say. Zappa score saying, bought some edibles a few times, but they just don't seem to work on me, or they were just shit. Yeah, you might have got some bad edibles, Zappa. Lee Wallace saying, I don't agree with the jellies just because fucktards leave them in stupid places where kids can get their hands on them. Yeah, you know, I would agree with that as well. There is a danger there to kids when those edibles are in the hands of irresponsible parents. That's for sure. But at the same time, you know, that's what it comes down to, being responsible. And maybe the regulators could do something about that. Just have it in child-friendly product or packaging. You know, packaging that's not appealing to kids. I believe there's a brand out there, the No Name Cannabis brand, and they just do plain packaging. You know, just it's not meant to be appealing. You know, the appeal is in the package. It's inside in the package. It's not on the packaging. Don't need to be marketing to sell cannabis, really, like, do you? Hazmat 58, what's happening, Hazmat? Welcome to the show. What do you think about the glut of cannabis in Canada and what effect it might have on the industry? Yeah, there seems to be a big problem in Canada with cannabis at the moment. They seem to be having an overproduction of it, isn't it? It seems like it was nearly 75% of the cannabis that was grown over the last year or so was like not sold or something like that. Some crazy number anyway. Maybe it was 25%. Maybe I flipped that in its head like. But it's messed up. They really messed up over there in Canada. They tried to regulate the industry from the top down rather from the bottom up. And that's what I'm advocating for here is an industry that's regulated from the bottom up, where the people on the ground have a lot of the say in how the industry is regulated. Because I believe what happened over in Canada is a lot of the what they call legacy growers would have been kept out of the market because of the barriers that were put in place by the regulators. And that was a big failing by the regulators there. And that's why in Canada now you have most of the cannabis, or a lot of the cannabis bought anyways, bought from the black market. I don't know, maybe that's changed now in the last year or so. I believe some places have started catching up now, dispensing more licenses, making it more easier for people to get it. But I still think that they have a lot of work to be done over there. Um, yeah. Steve on, what's going on, Steve on? Yeah, you definitely know about the industrial side of hemp, Steve on. You done the course down below in Kerry, didn't you? That time with Thomas and Steve Allen. That's a nice one. Must catch up with you sometime and have a chat about that. Um, who else is out there? Lee Wallace, I suppose. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. That's true, man. Guns don't kill people. It's the bullet inside the gun, if anything, kills the person. Bhagwan's son, my new clock tells me it's nearly 4:20 somewhere again. Yes, you're right. Actually, it's almost 4:20 somewhere again. Um, in another minute or so, yeah, a minute and a bit. It's going to be 4:20 in Accra, Bamako, Dakar, and Azores Islands. Yes, shout out to the Azores. That's in less than 2 minutes, guys. And the show is just going on for an hour. Nice. We got done quick today, actually. We got through the news. Fair play. That's the job. Pods 420. Overproduction everywhere. Some Cali farmers only getting $700 a pound. That's 18 ounces. Yeah, that's right. I was talking about it here on the news last week. In Humboldt County, they're giving grants now to farmers to help them get more efficient in their production to keep up with the drop in price of cannabis over there, because it's just getting so hard now to sell it on as at the wholesale on the market. There's just so much availability out there for people who are buying at wholesale, that they're able to drive the price down. So now farmers are finding that a lot of the price for wholesale cannabis is below that of the cost of production. So now the Humboldt County are actually stepping in, giving grants to farmers for like water storage, for solar energy storage and things like that, to get them more efficient in the production, to bring down the cost of production. But yeah, you're dead right, Pods. Phone is bouncing there. Oh, it is 4:20. Yes, happy 4:20, everybody out there in the Azores, Banaka, and all of those other places mentioned. I'll pop it up on screen there so you can see it, guys. So that's Accra, Bamako, Dakar, and Azores Island. And guys, we've only got 237 days, 6 hours, 39 minutes, and 20 seconds to the next 4:20. Where are you going to be next year on 4:20, huh? Hope you got that one marked into your calendar, guys, and you're making plans. But yeah, that's 420worldclock.com. Who else is commenting? Russell Banta. So where is this 5-year thing, Martin, for growing plants? I'm seeing a few different numbers. Yeah, it's over there, all right. It depends on how much you're growing. But for cultivation in the circuit court, you can get up to 5 years. If you get done at the district court, I believe they're limited at 3 years, I think. But yeah, it depends on which court you end up in, and then the number of plants also can bring it up to 14 years. In the circuit court, I believe, if it's over the €10,000 threshold. So yeah, that's to be taken into consideration too. Probably after pushing over that one a few times on some of these planting expeditions. Well, there's 32 plants now that I planted out there. Like if they accumulated all them together, they could maybe try to slap me with 10 years if they wanted to. That'd be some laugh. Dan Jackson says, and fellas be getting 1,000 an ounce of Cali. That's it, Dan. Do you know what I mean? The illusion, man. Marketing is real. It's serious. Like, do you know, when you think about it, really, what you said there is dead right. Like, there's fellas out there, they're getting about, like, you know, I'd say maybe you're exaggerating on the 1,000 for it, like, but you know, you won't be far wrong actually when you think about it. People are getting 3 grams. 100 quid for 3 grams. So yeah, definitely actually 1,000 quid for an ounce of Cali at a certain point in time. And over in Cali, they can barely sell a fucking pound for $1,000. Mad. I'll open up the hotline there, guys, if anybody wants to give a buzz. We'll stick around for like another 10 minutes or so. Gonna have to get the doggies walked, and then my daughter has football training, so yes, daddy duties for the evening. Then I have to get back, and I really need to finish off my college work. Procrastinating again. There we go, she's all connected up anyway. Hazmat had just found the 420 clock excellent. It's an essential tool for every stoner, Hazmat. I don't know if they have an app version. I'm going to suggest they make an app version. And some widgets. Anybody out there technically sound who can make widgets? I need a 420 widget. I need to know when it's 420 and where it's 420 at all times. Dan Jackson now 130 for a 3.5 gram. What? 130 for 3.5 grams, man. That's sick. That is sick, like, seriously. Shimmering, don't be him a stat boy days. Never, right? Never. Bogwan's son location is all it is. Mad to think of it that way. Well, John, when you think about it, actually, man, I think it'd be gas if we could get the cops to put up the price of per gram. It'd be hilarious. Like, imagine getting caught with a gram of cannabis and the cops saying that you have €50 worth of cannabis on you. Like, imagine how funny that would be. Or you get caught with 3 grams and the cop says you have €150 worth of cannabis. Like, you know, imagine you get caught with 10 grams. Like, you know, it's €500 worth of cannabis. Oh my God. It'll be funny because we know, like, even at €20 a gram, it's a fucking joke. Like, even though that's kind of what the price is at the moment on the street, but that's a bloody joke. It shouldn't be that way. Like, even 3.5 grams for 50 quid, like that's the limit. Like, come on, like, it should be getting cheaper, not more expensive. Like, in all fairness, like. Hazmat, what am I studying? I'm currently doing 1 sec, I'll just pack my ball and sorry, I was moving away from the mic there. But I'm currently doing a master's in bioanalytical chemistry. I slacked off a little bit there in the last while, just because of all the campaigning I've been doing and family life as well. Had a lot going on there with the family for the last few weeks. Obviously wasn't expecting my partner to be pregnant either. That was a surprise to me as well as her. A much welcome surprise, but I did definitely get in the way. But we're getting there. We're almost nearing to the end of it there now, and we're due to finish in about 3 weeks. So yeah, I look forward to that. Prior to that, I have an honours degree in herbal science. So yeah, I have that as well. I need a 420 watch that would sell. Yes, nice. That would sell actually. Just literally like get a watch and just take the battery out and set it at 420. And it's like anybody asks you the time. Oh well, look what the time. It's 4:20. How many people would actually get it? How often could you crack that joke and somebody's like, it's like morning time. What do you mean it's 4:20? It's like 10 a.m. Uh, there's not like I know stoners, the people who consume cannabis out there who didn't even know what 420 was. Like, you know, are you a stoner if you don't know what 420 is? I don't know. I'd have my suspicions. Like, we'd have to get the Garda test on you. John O'Regan says the campsite near Waterford won't take tents, and Airbnb hasn't got anything suitable. Any suggestions? Oh, I'll see if we can sort something out for you, John. We'll see what happens there. Maybe there's somebody down below in Waterford who has a bit of private land who might rent it out for us for the night, and we can do a bit of camp tenting on your land. Maybe. Shout out to anybody in Waterford who might have a bit of land. They might be willing to let a few peaceful stoners pitch tents in so that they can come down and protest on Saturday. Give us a shout out. Let us know. John O'Regan is one of those peaceful stoners. The guy wouldn't harm a fly, unless it was probably annoying him. Even then, you probably just get a stone, John, so it'd stop annoying you. Isn't that right, buddy? Dan Jackson says, fellas be paying it though, you joke, but they do. Yeah, they do, Dan. They do that. That's the thing. It's crazy to think. I couldn't afford it myself, and that's the God honest truth. I get it was €203 a week on the backed education, being a full-time student. I don't even get the bloody 350 PUP, unfortunately. But when you're on that, really, like, you know, even having 50 quid there for 3.5 grams, it's kind of like, not really. So therefore, you know, you resort to other tactics in order to get your hands on some herb, such as doing a podcast and getting sponsored by a local plug. That was handy. Shout out to King Crop 420 if you're out there, dude. Give us a shout, man. Greenbeard, hence why you need to learn how to grow your own. My weed cost me around 22 cent a gram. And there you go, guys. Like that if you ever want a reason why you need to grow your own cannabis, it's because it'll cost you 22 cent a gram. Okay, if you get caught with it, all right. Oh, well, you're cultivating cannabis. But look, if you get caught with your 50 bag, you're getting caught with cannabis anyway. You're facing the same judge. You're more or less breaking the same law, and you more or less face the same punishment. In fact, if you get caught with a few plants, I would argue that you're in a better position to make an argument in the court that you were trying to be a responsible cannabis consumer, doing your thing, you know, growing your own cannabis so you don't have to support the black market until the government get their act together and allow you to buy it legally, free from the organised crime gangs, you know? So 22 cent a gram. Imagine that, like. Imagine if you grew the dankest of dank, right? 22 cent a gram. And you talk about like 30 grams, let's say. So that's €6 or €6.60. Yeah, €6.60. That would be for 30 grams. So for just more than an ounce, you know, it's €6.60. Just more than an ounce. Like, do you ever need more of a reason? And if you wanted to be a complete scumbag, then you could slap it into a Cali bag and go out and sell it for 1,000 quid. Imagine the markup. Any other business out there able to make that much product or turnaround on a product, you know, $6.60 for the 30 grams, and go out and sell it on the market for 1,000 quid because it's fucking Cali. You put it into a Cali bag. Imagine, and it's possible. Because as you said, Dan, man, we might joke about it, but there is people out there who'll pay this. And they will pay it. You know, if you get some of that purple god bud, not right, GB, people will be paying Cali prices then. Right, we're getting the first caller. Let's see who it is. Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Hey there. Unfortunately, it's Monsoir Fudge again.
Hey, Monsoir, what's going on, man? You good?
How are you?
I'm very good.
Just one quick topic.
Yes.
Topic of the week, so to speak, I think I'd call it.
Yes.
Yeah? Smart meters.
Oh, yes, we turned a person away from our front door the other day with those.
Yeah, I've just had one turn up at my yard now. Luckily, as most viewers know, or listeners, it's a happy day for me, you know. But, solar panels might be the winning option to it, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, because those power boxes now, the smart meters, so they're calling them at the moment, like they're incredibly invasive, I believe, to our privacy. Would you agree?
Mhm.
My suspicion is that, my belief actually is that they can tell how much power is being drawn through an individual socket in your house for how long. Do you know?
Understood.
I
Exactly, and especially on the hours of after 6 o'clock, for example, there's going to
exactly.
be a. Mhm.
So the problem therein lies if you're drawing 250 watts, 400 watts, or 600 watts for 12 hours consistently for 8 weeks,
So
they
my
might know
next
what you're
Googling
doing.
is how many solar panels to power 600 watts.
A couple anyway in Ireland, I'd say, and a few backups.
Yeah, I'm getting to learn that as well. But thank you very much anyway.
Nice one for the call, man. That's a very good topic to bring up, and yeah, I wonder what other people think about that out there in the audience. So nice one for bringing it up.
Yeah, got me worried, but never mind.
Yeah, no bother. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your thing. We'll see you Saturday, hopefully.
Hopefully so. See you there.
Good luck. So thoughts on that, people? Greenbird, I would be interested, I suppose, as you would be the one of the people, I suppose, that is admitted to being a grower. Well, what's your thoughts on the smart meters? Am I incorrect in what I believe about them, or am I correct? Can they tell how much you're drawn through an individual socket in your house at any one time, or is it like? Because, like, do you know the way, and when you come in the door of your, when you come in the door of my gaff, you got the box up and the thing, and you've all your fuses. Each one of those individuals, like, is an that potential, does the smart meter not have the potential to know which one is drawn, how much, and for how long? I think that's dangerous. Like, I think we're treading into dangerous territory here with, like, these smart meters. Like, it's just like, no. Smart. I think spy meters is more appropriate, huh? Stephen, how do you explain the cannabis you're possessing if you're not growing your own? It's a deliberate trap in the policy to directly associate consumers with organized crime. Grow your own to protect. Yes. Yeah, dead right, Steve. Dead right. Hazmat putting a link there to Apple Store, is it? Apps. Oh, the 420 app. Nice. Legend. I have to check that out later. Lee Wallace, I didn't know I could call in. This changes everything. Can I call? Of course, the phone line is open. Hopefully you got free calls there to the what is it, Air Meteor, whatever it's called. Give us a shout, say hello. Hopefully you're able to hear me loud and clear anyway. Scatanist, I don't think they can check a specific socket, but they do have an instant power consumption data for the entire household. So 12 hours on, off can still be visible for them. Yeah, there you go. That's my thought as well, Scatanist. That's incredibly invasive. Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Well, how are you, my man?
I'm very good. Who do we got? Is this Lee?
Lee Wallace, yeah.
Yeah, what's happening, Lee? Welcome, nice one for calling.
Brilliant, no, I wanted to... Yeah, how are you, my man? Yeah, no, deadly. I'm really enjoying your... first time I came across your live show, what have you, and I'm actually really enjoying it.
That's the job. Good to hear, man. I think you're getting an echo in the background for me as well.
Sorry, I just turned off the thingy there now. Is it okay now?
Yeah. I sound like Neil Prendeville now. Can you turn down the radio there in the background?
yeah. No, phone is shut off now. Is it okay now?
Yeah. No, that's perfect, man.
Brilliant. No, I just wanted to make a point there at home with the smart meters and all that. I was like, maybe that's the way forward. You need a big power on your side. I mean, when you're trying to do what you're doing. So maybe it's like Electric Ireland is the one you need to lobby. Show them the extra money they could make when everyone is at home growing.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah, well, I think like if everybody could grow their own at home, a lot of people would opt to use the sun over the indoor lights. I think the indoor lights is just because of the fact you have to hide it, and it's easier to hide it in a cupboard than it is out your back garden.
Yeah, we don't think so. Everybody just, you know what I mean? It becomes legal to grow, and if everyone that decided to grow at home, how much more money it's going to generate for the likes of Electric Ireland. So if you actually got a big company on your side, could make a big pile of difference.
Yeah. And I wonder how many people out there are incredibly distrusting of the service because of that reason. When I was working in the grow shop in Cork, I know there was a lot of growers around Cork. I wonder how many people are actually open to getting these things done. I wonder how many people will stop growing as a result.
Well, that's absolutely it as well. That's absolutely it as well. But no, I think lobby Electric Ireland, show them the facts and figures and money they can make. Get a big company on side like that. Brilliant.
Nice one.
But,
That's a good point.
Brilliant. Look, I go on and leave it back to you. Thanks for letting me call, and I'll keep listening.
Nice one, Lee. Thanks for calling, man, and thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your evening, pal.
So, my man, thank you.
Peace. So that's Lee Wallace. Lee Wallace calling in. So from some part of Ireland anyway there. Maybe a bit of a Waterford man, I believe, Lee. Was that? I don't know. Can't place the accent too close, but maybe a bit of a Waterford man there. Pods for 420. The less smart devices, the better. No, they can't figure that out. It's only the wattage. Yeah, fair enough. But still, even with just the wattage, I suppose, you know, they'll have an idea. Oh, we've another caller. Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Martin, how's it going?
GB, how are we, pal?
Oh, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Fucking tired after a long ass fucking day. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty good now. Had a pretty long day yesterday myself, but today not so bad. Today was a bit more relaxed.
Good. I was just giving you a call here about those smart meters.
Yeah.
From what I gather, it's not able to pinpoint down to an exact socket, but it does tell you the appliances. So if you have your computers are turned on and they're left on all the time, say your TV or things like that, it's able to tell you the tellies are on. So it would be interesting to know how that works, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Appliances.
Yeah.
If they're not able to tell the exact socket, because like you said, for wick growers, that's going to be such a big thing. If it means, because like not everybody has LEDs. There's a lot of people still use HBS and the likes of that.
Yeah.
And they're fucking huge draws. Even when you go into the big LEDs, like some of them are drawing 5 and 6 and 700 watts as well.
Yeah.
So there is it's going to be interesting to see. I know a few people myself now that are converting just their grows to run on renewable energies.
Interesting, like biodiesel or something like that?
No, they're running them with, believe it or not, with these small little wind turbine things.
Whoa.
I'm actually in the process, Martin. I'm looking at them myself because they're these small little ones and they generate 5 kilowatts.
That's more than enough.
That's more than enough.
Yeah. Well,
and then battery bank as well. And this is stuff that you can do pretty much. You don't need to be an electrical engineer. You know, if you have a bit of space and if you have a bit of know-how, you can put these things together.
Yeah.
Not very cheap, I will say. It'll cost you a couple of grand, but in the long run, it'll give you the peace of mind for if they are able to start pinpointing in. Because as the lad said, when you're in bed, when you're doing 20 and then 4 off, and then when you go into flip, they're very noticeable.
Yeah.
You know, very noticeable.
Yeah, it's a big danger there. Like, I think it's an incredible invasion of our privacy at the moment. Like, what's going on there? They want to have the smart
Okay.
meters for electricity, the water meters.
But do you know what it is? It's not even the likes of the intrusiveness and that of it. You think of the anxiety that these smart meters are going to bring to the likes of elderly people, to people that are on low income households.
Yeah,
The anxiety that's going to happen with some of these people when they're going, oh shit, we have to turn this off because we won't have enough electricity to keep the heat on. We can't have the lights on, or we can't have the lights on, or we can't have the heating on because we won't have the lights
yeah,
because the meters are running up and running down. Like, oh, it's horrendous.
yeah. It is. It's incredibly horrendous. Especially, John. We had stories here in Ireland. Was it about 2-3 years ago of pensioners getting on the train, going up and down from Cork to Dublin, back and forward, just to stay warm because they couldn't keep
Yeah,
the heating on in their own home.
yeah. Martin, it's still like that now.
Yeah,
Look at the amount of people that are going out, and well, I know now it's a bit harder to do in COVID, but you do see it all the time. You see it in the bus stations, you see it in the train stations, you even see it in the hospitals.
yeah,
Now, people going in and sitting in the waiting room and sleeping in the waiting rooms in hospitals. Why? Because it's fucking warm.
yeah.
You know?
Ah, crazy one.
But no, that was that. It's just it is going to be it'll be very interesting to see. I wonder if there's anybody else out there that might be more in the know, or even that might work for the likes of the ESB or somebody of these other energy providers that will be able to give more insight into it.
Yeah, they're doing the rounds up around here at the moment. If I see them when I'm out walking the dogs later, I'll ask them. I'll just be like, "Hey, come here."
Yeah, that's the I tell you, they'll never put one on my house.
Yeah, yeah, we ran them from the door anyway. Politely, we were just like, no, we told you the last time we're not getting a smart meter in this house, and our landlord is supportive of that as well. So, happy days.
Oh yeah, well, like I won't have when they tried to put a water meter in my house. I said no, fuck you, there. Put one. I came off the water mains, and we have our own well now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what we do purely because I know that in my heart and heart that they are going to publicise the likes of water and things like that in years to come, and we will be paying a fucking arm and a leg for it.
yeah, yeah.
So while it is the technology is there, and while it's still relatively cheap, because it is going to get a lot more expensive in the coming years. Try to compare it over now. People, while there's grants and everything there, try to compare it over so that you control your own power, you control your own water if you can.
Yeah.
And if you have space, try grow as much food as you can as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously your cannabis.
Yeah.
That's you need your medicine.
Yeah, well, but that's the dangerous thing about cannabis. If you start growing cannabis, well, you're going to start growing onions, and before you know it, you're going to have spuds everywhere.
I tell you, I'm taking inspiration from a couple of lads. You know, I don't eat fruit and veg at all, but I did get some carrots off a friend of mine, and I normally wouldn't take them, but everybody keeps banging on to me about how good they are and how much better they taste. And boy, Jesus, they actually do taste so much nicer.
Nice. And I bought a variety of carrots called Purple Haze. Just for the name,
yeah.
And they were completely purple and orange on the middle, and they were lovely.
No, I know it is savage. So I'll be doing the old the poly tent is going up now next year.
Nice, that's the job.
Yeah. Sorry, just putting on this computer. Well, listen, Martin, I will let you go, my friend. And good show as always.
Thanks very much, GB. It's always great to hear your voice. It's always a nice addition to the show.
Dude. Well, hopefully I will see you this Saturday down in Dungarvan. I'm trying to rearrange something so I can get to it this week.
Excellent, great stuff. Thanks for making the effort. Really appreciate it.
No bother, and I hope to see you there, my friend.
Excellent stuff. I'll see you Friday for the session, yeah?
Without fail, man, without fail.
Excellent. Nice one.
See you, man.
Good luck, GB. Yes, that was GB there, guys, from High and Homegrown, and the session I was referring to there is the session the guys where they just hang out, shoot the breeze, all sorts of stoner talk going on over there. Friday at 9 o'clock over on YouTube on the High and Homegrown podcast channel. If you haven't already followed them, go over and give them a follow. To talk all things cannabis, all about growing cannabis. Again, it's High on Homegrown. All of the panel members are cannabis growers as well. Yeah. Purple hairs, carrots, do them. No, I think I got them in Woody's. Lee Wallace is asking, what kind of dogs do I have? I have a Whippet and a little foot bagel kind of cross with something else. Don't know what he's crossed with. But yeah, 2 doggos. You will soon have to pay for the well water, GB. They're trying to bring that in. No way, like. They can't do that, like. A smart meter is just another company to make money off, yeah. Yeah, spot on, Lee. Spot on, but Podge 85, yeah, I'm hoping to get a 20-foot polytunnel myself because it's a brilliant investment. Podge, I built my own one, 16 foot by 12 foot, I believe it is. Yeah, 16 foot by 12 foot. Cost me, I think, in the region of maybe 500 to 600 quid. Polythene, wood, nails, and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, highly recommend it, man. It's great. Fucking out there at the moment now. I'm overgrown with tomatoes, chilies, and strawberries. I've loads of strawberry plants. I've no strawberries, just loads of strawberry plants. Right, we've a bowl packed up here. I have another sup mieshka and we'll spark one up. Whoops. Sorry, just reading your comments there. Pods4420 saying smart meters cutting down on the workforce, office work cut down. It'll do away with paperwork for the ESB. Also, no more fellas going around doing readings. Pods, it's funny that you say that because we always let the dude into the read the meters here and stuff like that. And my old doll was saying it to him the other day. She was like, I'm sure they're going to do you out of the job now once they get into smart meters. You won't be doing that anymore. And he was like, oh, sure, they'll find something else for me to do. But like most likely, they're probably going to just retire him. You know, early retirement, here's your redundancy there, kid. Good luck, nice one for the service. And in fairness, the DSB dude who comes around doing the meter readings is always sound out. Or one is in the house, so he has to knock at the door to come in and read it and stuff like that. But he's always sound out, never a problem. Always a friendly guy. And I think it's nice like that to have people like that, you know, who kind of have jobs like that going out doing their thing. Don't think that's I don't think that's an intrusion in my home. But I do feel like the smart meter would be, you know. I would feel it'd be much more of an intrusion that they can go out there and read exactly what I'm like, as GB says, like they can tell if I have a TV plugged in. Like that's mad. Maybe they can tell that now at the moment, but like I don't think they can. You know. Yeah, it might be funny saying the government can't be doing that. We'll keep pushing, and I will be the government, and we won't do that. And condolences there as well, John. John's old fur baby had to be put down yesterday. John, I'm going to blaze this one up. I'll try to say no more because my condolences to you, man. And I know what that's kind of like, having to go through that. So before I come to tears, I'll blaze one up in honor of, I believe your doggy was called Molly. I think I seen your post go up there as well. So guys, if you got her out there, blaze one up in honor of Molly. Civil disobedience protest here for Molly. Molly's getting a big bowl. I think hash should be banned from the show. It's just making the bowls too long. But yeah, Molly, that one was for you anyway. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise, as some others say. Teresa O'Connell says you can refuse a smart meter by just ringing them. That's what she did. Yeah, we did that actually, Teresa. They were notified already that we didn't want it, but they still insisted on knocking at our door and saying, "Oh yeah, we're just calling by to see if maybe you change your mind." Sound, but fuck off. Daily Talker says, I heard that some places charge money for the rainwater that happens to land on their land. That's nuts. Imagine that. You'd be out there with gutters trying to divert it onto your neighbour's land. There'd be floods everywhere. Zappa score. Imagine a government that were actually useful and not invasive. A CUNTS. Yes, I would agree with you there. Imagine. It would be a glorious world. Skithana says, I welcome automation and smart shit as long as we get a universal basic income and there's no surveillance and data mining involved. Yeah, you see, I wouldn't be so against smart meters if we didn't have such shitbag governments and things like that. You just can't trust them really at the moment. Like, if you're a grower out there at the moment, like, a smart meter is not what you want. Even like as a grower, like, is a water meter what you want? Like, if your water's going to be a bit that much off compared to your neighbours who mightn't have gardens, as I said, like, if you grow cannabis, you might end up growing poppies and stuff, so you might be running the hose a bit more. That could be another way they start getting you. Like, that fella's water's a bit high there. Go in there and see what he's doing. Like, he could be growing the old herb, or he could be running a drug lab or something. So yeah, like, we get rid of the prohibition. I might start trusting the government a bit more then. And we might start welcoming some of this automation as well, because I can see the benefits to it as well at the same time. But at the same time, you know, as a person who's fearful of the authorities, you can see the downside. Yeah, a lot of people paying their respects there as well for Molly in the comments. Hype also says, speaking of invasive, I need to have filled out the electoral form in the north to get their £100 high street vouchers, and the company the government tasked with doing it were in trouble for selling the info. That's mad. Podge 85, no hash is beautiful, especially hearing the lovely bong rip. It just goes on for too long, Podge. At least with a bowl of herb, it's just like, you know, nice and quick. Hit the bowl, tear it up, and she's done. That hash, man, it's just like one sec. It's a bit much, like. Lee Wallace, dealers wouldn't push their products like they push the smart meters. Maybe the smart meter company should start looking at hiring some of the dealers. Hype, some clean freak getting the door up the hall for excessive baiting. It's all about surveillance, I'm afraid. It's not a secret or anything. Yeah, I would definitely agree with your pods, man. We're definitely heading into a more a time where we've less and less privacy. Definitely. Do you know? And you might laugh and joke about it, but, like, you know, we all have, like, Facebook, Instagram, and all of these apps in our phones, in our pockets. We all have Google and all of this stuff. Like, we all know that these things are tracking us. All right, you can go in and you can turn it off, but you actively have to go in and turn it off. You know? So like, how much privacy have we had anyway lately? But the shred of it that we have, we really need to cling on to it. Mark Andrew Morgan, I was told if you're growing with lights, get a welder to explain the power usage. Interesting, that's a good explanation there, alright, but if they can monitor the fact that you're using it for like 12 hours on, 12 hours off, or 18 hours on it and 6 hours off if maybe you're using veg lights, like you can't really explain that with a welder anymore then, with the smart meters that is. Hey, what's happening, Eleanor? I'm doing good. Pod 85, a cocktail bong, even better, Martin. Yeah, that's what it was. It's always a cocktail. Teresa, if they bring in the Chinese credit system, they could restrict your electricity. What? The way things are going, you can't say you would never put it past them. Imagine that. Imagine that. Weren't they saying that with water? Like, sure, the people who don't pay the bill, sure, just turn down their taps to a trickle, and they won't be long paying it. Then, I remember them. They were saying that, like, that's like, that was some of our elected politicians, I believe, saying that too. Can't remember who, so we won't put it in anyone's mouths, but I do believe it came from an elected politician. Ooh. Monsieur Fudge, get a gym going and use the gyro to power the batteries. Patented. Nice. That's a good one. Yeah. It's free to work out here, guys. Come on in and work out. We've only got bikes. or yeah, you can use the hand ones as well. The cross trainers in there too. We get the cross trainers. And it's free to work out. Yes, we'll call it 420 gym. That's a good idea, Monsieur. Community, and what's that called? Those social shit. I can't remember what it's called. You know, when it's like not for profit kind of things. Anyway, you know what I mean. Get it done. Go for it, Monsieur. I'll come up and I'll dedicate some of my time. I'll work out at your gym. I'll power your girl. Hazmat 58, you should still protect yourself though. But he says privacy is dead. Yeah, that's it. You do still have to protect yourself. But privacy, yeah, it's yeah, you have to work to get it. Pod 85, just say you are TIG welding and practicing your skills, or you're doing artwork. Scatanist, plugging Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing well there as of late, hitting back up to like 40 grand at the moment, or thereabouts. Good to see. Hazmat 58 says they do that with water in a lot of black communities in the States. Cut it almost off or fully off. What? That's mad. Like, imagine that. Like, you know, you're out there in the community, you've got kids, you're trying to bathe them, you're trying to like cook a stew or something, you need water, like, and it's just like, you know, that they've turned off the water because like we're a poor community. Sick. Pod 85, be like a hamster in the wheel. Hype says, I had a stone thought about that. Free steroids, but you have to use the bikes for an hour at least. Don't even need steroids, right? You don't even need that at all. No, I reckon you just say it's a free gym and you'll get people on that. The Republic of Dave, combining cannabis social clubs and gyms is the billion-dollar idea of the day. That's happening. That's going to happen. That's for sure. It's happening over in places like Canada. There was a recent report out there that showed that the trend was people who consumed cannabis were exercising more. They were integrating cannabis with their exercises, whether it be high THC or other high cannabinoid products. But that was certainly looking to be the trend there. And it's very much debunking the myth that stoners are lazy, unmotivated, uneducated, dumbasses, you know. No, we're not. Sorry. Hazmat 58, you affiliate on Twitch, Martin. No, I haven't been able to do that yet. I've been intending to maybe do a bit more gaming to trying to get to that stage. I believe I just have to have like more than 5 people watching at any one time or something. Is it? No, I think I have to get, something like that. And there's a few things there that I have to get done to get it. But no, I'm not an affiliate yet. Lee Wallace, I don't think those in charge realise the damage prohibition does. I got a conviction nearly 20 years ago for a couple of plants and a bit of hash. Never in trouble again, and it still has caused me hassle in life all these years later. Yeah, 20 years later, if you want to go to Canada or America, you still have to declare the fact that you've got a criminal conviction. It's ridiculous. It's so wrong. Like, if you've harmed nobody in your crime, even the people who might have bought your weed, if you were to be a seller of weed, if you were like caught with a load of it and you were selling it and everything, like really, unless you were spraying your stuff, like, and you were one of those guys, but nobody was ever hurt by your actions. But yet here you go, 20 years later, you still carry the conviction, you still carry with the label of being a criminal in society. It's wrong. I'll be doing everything in my power to make sure that people who've been wrongly affected by the prohibition of cannabis have the criminal label removed from their name for all charges. Like, I would believe that the people getting caught with fucking hundreds of ounces shouldn't be criminals either. They were just providing a service too, albeit maybe a more profitable one, depending who you ask. Alright, we'll start wrapping her up there, guys, because we'll waffle on for the rest of the evening, but we have to get stuff done. John O'Regan says, gentle reminder, is there anyone living in Waterford that can put up a load of us for a night or two? So there you go, guys. There's a shout out from John O'Regan. He's looking for anybody who can spare a couch, or maybe a spare bed, or even a backyard to pitch a tent. Get in touch there, let us know, and we can organise something. It'd be even better if somebody had a bit of land there, and we might be able to have a little bit of an after party down there. Hush. Any other comments there? Lee Wallace, only announce between friends. Yeah, that's it. Like, yeah, it's good to hear that you looked after your buddies. Greenbeard says, great show as always, Martin. I gotta bounce and get the boys sorted. Yeah, gotta bounce myself as well, GB. Anyway, I gotta get my boys sorted here before I have to bring my little lady to her football practice. So yeah, Eleanor Simmons says, not lazy, far from it. After 3 years in pain, I can now ride a bike, get on and exercise. I use many therapies, but the CBD to THC ratio of 1:1 is making me function near normal. I thank God for this plant. Thanks very much for sharing that with me, Eleanor. Really appreciate that. It's really good to hear as well, you know, that you've got you're able to get that ratio. I hope you're able to get it consistently anyway, because it seems to be providing you tremendous benefits. So thanks very much for sharing that with me. I don't know how you go about getting it. Is it imported? Do you make it yourself? But if you ever wanted to have a chat there, I'd be interested to hear about your own situation. Maybe you might have a story to tell. Get in touch, but no panic at all if you're all wanting to remain anonymous there in the background. But it'd be interesting to talk to people who use cannabis for pain. I'm always interested in talking to people who use it for that. Hype says, what's the donations like? Do they rip the balls out of the tree? Was that to me, Hype? What the? Are you on about the donations through like YouTube or something like that? I think YouTube is like 30% they take. I don't know what the crack is over on Twitch, if that's what you were asking, but maybe I'm getting caught up in somebody else's conversation. Oh yeah, you're talking with Hazmat. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, sorry. Right. Men Twitch in the percentage. Yeah, Twitch is more. Twitch take more? Twitch take more than 30%. Oh yeah, 20% on Twitch. Yeah. I was thinking that, alright. Like, yeah, Twitch takes a little bit less. So if they take 20%. or maybe it's like 20% if you're on partner, because they have like affiliate and partner, don't they, as well? But who knows? Anyway, guys, nice one, everybody, for tuning in. I am going to love you and leave you because I got to go walk the dogs and deal with the rest of my chores. I'll be back with more 420 news on Friday, guys. So until then, stay blessed, keep her lit, much love. Peace.